Hi guys, Andrea Garcia here. Today I'm going to be teaching you how you can make your very own Lisa Frank inspired Halloween costume. Yes, you heard me. Lisa Frank is basically my childhood put into 2 words. I was obsessed with Lisa Frank growing up. I had all the stickers. I used to have little parties with my friends we would trade stickers and all that good stuff. And I actually still own a lot of the stickers and have a lot of the, cool school pencils and all the gear that they had. So last year for Halloween, I decided that I wanted to be Lisa Frank. I had this crazy idea in my head for the costume. And I created the costume a day before on a whim, right before Halloween. And it came out great. And I posted it on Instagram and it got great response. Everyone went crazy. And so I decided that this time around this year, I wanted to provide a tutorial for you guys, breaking it down, discussing how I actually created the costume. And I was very blessed and grateful that I actually got some feedback from the folks over at Lisa Frank. They actually liked my costume. They featured it on their Facebook page. So thank you guys so much for doing that. That was kind of like one of the coolest things ever that has happened to me. It was definitely a kid moment that I had. It was as if I had gotten all these toys at the toy store. That's how it pretty much felt. So much love to everyone over at Lisa Frank. You guys are completely awesome. And now in order to get started, I just want to let you know I'm going to break the tutorial down into 2 parts. The first part, I'm going to go over how I actually created the full dress that I wore for the costume and some of the other accessories that I used as well. And for the second part, I'm just gonna break down the hair and the makeup that I used for the costume too. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay guys, so I'm going to break down exactly how I made my Lisa Frank inspired costume. And I will go ahead and actually start with the full costume itself. Now as you guys can see, this is actually a dress. I'm going to turn it around so you guys can see what the dress actually looks like. I actually purchased this from Forever 21 probably about 4 years ago. And it's just a slim fitting cotton dress. And I had worn it so many times that I was actually going to donate it, but I ended up keeping it, which was good because it ended up being the base for my whole costume. So how I created this and made it into this awesome dress, it actually took me a really long time, but that shouldn't discourage you. So you can see all of these characters that are on the dress itself were actually hand drawn and hand painted by me. I actually painted, first drew everything out onto foam paper. And I'll try and see if you guys can see. It's actually, the foam paper's pretty thick on there. It's right there. So it's just white foam paper that I bought at Michael's. And all I did was actually draw out all the characters first. And then what I went ahead and did is I hand painted all of them. So you see right here we have the whale. I'll zoom in a little bit. I hand painted them using some fabric paints. If you guys don't know what those look like, I'll show you. So I used a lot of these fabric paints that you see right here. You can pick up a lot of these colors from Michael's or Joann's Fabric. These are about $2–3 each, and I picked up a few and I actually just painted them in. So yeah, so I painted each of these little characters on here. And then once they were dry, I just cut them out. And since I was in a rush to finish my costume, after I cut out the foam pieces, all I did was actually hot glue them directly onto the dress because I knew I wasn't going to wash this at all. But for those of you that actually that don't draw or can't draw for the life of you, one method that you can actually use is by taking the images, the Lisa Frank images offline that they have, printing them onto fabric paper. They sell sheets of fabric paper at Target, and you basically print them out and actually iron them onto fabric, and then you can put them on a dress. That's another method that you can do it. So that's how I made my costume. Now for the hand chain, the chain that I wore on my neck. This one was actually a lot of fun to make. Again, I did this using foam paper, a sheet of white and a sheet of black. I hand painted the logo, drew it out, let it dry, and then I put it on this back to just give it a little bit more grip. And then I basically attached a chain to it. You can take it on and off. So this was just an added accessory to the costume. You don't have to make this if you don't want to. And the last thing that you need, of course, are the unicorn ears. This was the icing on the costume, I would have to say. I made these completely by hand, by scratch, and I actually created a totally separate tutorial to teach you guys how to make your own your own unicorn ears and whatnot. And you can make them any color that you want, but go ahead and view the other tutorial for that. So these are the three things, the main pieces of the costume. And now I'm gonna go ahead and basically run down some quick hair and makeup for you guys. Okay, so now for the hair and makeup portion of the tutorial. One thing that you are definitely going to need is a cool, colorful, awesome wig. And I was so fortunate to have found this wig right here. And it just yelled and screamed Lisa Frank. It is hot pink and the bangs are actually a rainbow color. It's a bunch of different colors. I actually found this at my local costume shop. It was 40 bucks, but I'm sure you guys can look online for a similar wig, or you can go down to your shop. So just make sure you buy something bright and colorful for the costume. So there's my wig. And the next thing that goes on the wig is actually the awesome unicorn ears, and I created a tutorial. I already told you guys this, so be sure to go to the tutorial for that so you can learn how to create your very own unicorn ears. But if you can find them at the store and you don't want to make them, then you can just buy them as well. Now, one of the things that I did last year for my shoulder, I actually painted my shoulder and did the colorful cheetah stripes that you guys see throughout a lot of the Lisa Frank designs and whatnot. So for those, I just used regular body paint, face paint. I actually bought these at Michael's. These came together, so you guys can use these. And in order to draw the little cheetah pattern, I used a pencil, a makeup pencil, and I actually bought this the other day. So it's just a black makeup pencil for that. So that's what you need in order to complete the look with hair and makeup. So let me put that on so you guys can see what it looks like. Okay, I'm back. As you guys can see, I have my wig on. If you guys don't know how to properly put wigs on, I actually have a tutorial that teaches you how to do that, so go ahead and check that out. But this is my Lisa Frank wig that I have already on. I went ahead and I left my shoulder bare so I can run through it really quickly how you guys can apply the makeup for the shoulder and have that cheetah print look going. If you don't want to do that, you can skip this whole little section altogether. But basically what you want to do, and just have a couple of napkins ready as well, is I'm going to be using some pink and probably some orange, a little bit of yellow, and maybe some green. So all that you're going to be doing is taking some of your face paint and using your finger, because I actually I can't find my brushes, my paint brushes right now. But basically just put some on your finger like this if you don't have that. And all you're gonna be doing is just dabbing some paint on there. And this is just so it makes the cheetah print stick out. Some orange next. It's a little messier way of doing it. If you have a friend that can help you do this part, I highly recommend it. I had my old roommate help me do this part for last year's Halloween. So as you can see, it's just, you know, an array of colors on there. So we're going to let that dry for a second. And while that's drying, I'm just gonna go ahead and put my unicorn ears on to, you know, finish off the look. And the very last thing that I'm gonna put on after I put on my dress is going to be my chain. And one thing that I did last year, when I went out to Halloween, it was really funny. For the girls that did recognize what my costume was, I had stickers and I was actually handing them out to people that recognized me. So if you have any stickers, hand them out, you know, pass on the Lisa Frank love. Okay, so it's kind of dry, but have someone help you with this part if you're not very good at drawing and whatnot. So you're just basically going to be duplicating the little cheetah print that you see. I'm sure you guys have seen it in the Lisa Frank art. And I'm going to take my black pencil, and this is a makeup pencil, and I bought this for like $1, but you can use eyeliner pencil as well if you have that. So basically you're going to take your pencil and you are going to draw just little marks on there. So just a little cheetah print. Until it dries, and I'll post some pictures on my blog so you guys can see what I'm talking about how I did my shoulder last year, so you can get a much better look of it. So I'm only gonna do a few more for that. It's a little bit harder when you're trying to do it on yourself, but I just wanted you guys to see, to get the gist of it. Okay, so there's your little cheetah shoulder print right there. I've actually seen some people with tattoos like that, which are really, really cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and now put on the dress, and so you guys can see the full finished Lisa Frank look. This is my finished look. I have everything completely on, and yes, hopefully this inspires you to dig deep into your Lisa Frank closet and maybe be Lisa Frank this Halloween. I had an absolutely wonderful time being Lisa Frank last year, and just remembering my childhood. It was so awesome, and it amazes me how much inspiration can come from our youth, so kudos to that. I love being inspired, so much fun. But anyways, if you guys have any comments, questions, concerns about the costume, leave them below. Again, I will post some more Lisa Frank artwork to inspire you guys when you're creating your pieces on my blog as well. And you guys can check out some of the other pictures from my costume last year. Yeah, and check out some more of my work and some more DIY tutorials, costume tutorials, fashion tutorials over on my website at fancymade.com. Be sure and add me on Instagram. It's at fancymade. And if you guys create this costume, please tag me #FancyMadeDIY or tag me directly at FancyMade so I can see your costume, because I would love to feature it on my blog because it's so awesome. I love seeing your creations. And thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch this. And I will see you guys soon. Bye.